understand, I started this at 18 years old. At 18 years old, I think my biggest deterrent was I thought my age mattered. Right? I thought people looked at me and said, man, you're
Eric
young, you don't know
Ortiz.
what the heck you're doing. How you know about life insurance and investments? You don't even have a mortgage. You don't even have a checking account.
Life insurance,
whatever the case is, right? That's
investments.
That was a fear that I instilled in myself.
Our only product.
What I realized, DeMarco, is that when you come in with education and you back that up with facts, they don't care about your age at that time, right? They want to learn. People want to learn. People want to grow, and people definitely want to grow their money and learn about their money. All right? Y'all got that?
Yes, sir. Yes.
All right. So this right here, I'm going to teach you guys, and you're not going to learn it all in one setting. The best way to learn this is that you, after this meeting, today, by the end of today, at the latest, you got to do this yourself, right? You got to practice yourself, right? It takes 20 minutes to practice. Learn it, practice, repeat, practice. This is recorded as well, too, so you guys can listen to the audio and learn it as well, too. All right? Got it?
Yes.
All right. So, in this room, be honest. Who here has heard of a mutual fund but has never heard of a mutual fund? That's good. Okay, good. Everyone in this room has heard of a mutual fund. Like you've heard the name mutual fund, but you don't know what the heck an actual mutual fund is. Right? Anybody in the room? Everybody knows what a mutual fund is.
Yes.
All right, let's see. All right, so look, this is how you explain what a mutual fund is. All right, and if somebody's host, is somebody mute everyone? Right, this is how you explain a mutual fund. Let's say I'm sitting down with Nalia, right? I'm sitting down with Nalia. Nalia is interested in investing, or she's interested in saving. She has money saved up in her checking account at Grove Financial or at Regions, and she has no idea what to do with it, right? She's been saving up for so long, she has money sitting there, but she don't know about mutual funds, she only knows about stocks, somewhat about stocks, right? And she knows somewhat about Bitcoin. So I'm gonna come up to Nalia, and I'm saying, Nalia, listen, we go through the whole presentation, she's like, yeah, I'm interested in those mutual funds. What is that? What is a mutual fund? I'm gonna go up to Nalia, I'm like, Nalia, listen, let's say we have 3 elevators here. All right, elevator number 1, elevator number 2, elevator number 3. Now, the only way that you can enjoy what's in these elevators, right? You got to put all your life savings in it. You put your life savings, your checking account, you got to put your 401k, all your wealth. You got to choose one of these elevators, right? So the caveat, right, is that one of these elevators has to go to the top of the Empire State Building. Right? Once it reaches that top floor and those doors open, now you can enjoy your wealth. All right, but you only can choose one. Let's say the first elevator had no cables. Second elevator had one little cable, and the third elevator had multiple cables. Boom, 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 boom. Now, obviously, which one would you choose? Now, why is that? It's more reliable, and when it snaps, so the reason I asked why is that, because I want her to sell herself on the fact that she wants a mutual fund, right? Now, why is that? Oh, it's more reliable. If one of those things snap, I'm still okay, right? And I want her to sell herself out of thinking that a bank account is the best thing, thinking that a stock is the best thing. Y'all got that?
Yeah.
Everyone taking notes here?
Yes.
All right. Right? Why is that, Nalia? Say it again. Why is that? Yeah, perfect. So let's say you chose elevator number 1. Elevator number 1 is if you kept your money in the bank. Right? It's going to say nice and safe. Nelson is going to be on the ground floor and it's never going to go up. Right? Number 2 is if you put all your money in one stock or one Bitcoin. Right? Let's say you love Tesla. You love Elon Musk. Right? And you put all your money in Elon Musk. Well, Elon Musk can say the wrong thing to the right person, and that line gets cut, and there goes all your savings. And that's too risky for me. This over here is a mutual fund. And you write mutual fund. Make sure your handwriting is tight. This is a mutual fund. Over here, this is Tesla, this is Ford, this is Microsoft, this is Walmart, this is Nike, right? So for you to lose your money, Nalia, all of these companies need to go bankrupt on the same day at the same hour. Nalia, how likely is that supposed to happen? So now she's selling herself on the fact that it's not risky. Y'all see what I did there? Y'all see what I did there? Yes, you did. Y'all see what I did there? Right? So what was the first question I asked her? No. First one is, I said, which elevator would you choose and why? Why would you choose so? Now she sold herself on the fact she wants a mutual fund. Now I said, why is that unlikely that all those companies are going to go bankrupt on the same day, same hour? And she says, no. That's the second question. The reason why I asked that is because when the market goes up and down, which it will, now she knows that she can revert back to this presentation and say, oh yeah, damn, I'm fine, I'm good. I got still got all these other companies, right? And not only that, you have somebody here that are looking, it's called a fund manager, who's looking at these cables saying, all right, every single day, and they're saying, okay, man, listen, Tesla is kind of messing up. Elon Musk is starting to trip out. Let's move Tesla and let's put Toyota here, right? So you don't have to do the day trading yourself. Now that's what a mutual fund is. Y'all got that?
Yes.
Now the second thing I used to think about mutual funds is I thought mutual funds are just for retirement. Have y'all heard about this? Oh man, what if I need my money? I'm gonna get penalized. I can't take it out. Y'all heard that before?
Yes.
All right. So now that you know what a mutual fund is, Nalia, when you open up a mutual fund, you want to open up at least 3 of them. You want to open up at least 3 of them. Everybody, the first one and the most important. The first one and the what? Most important. Most important is your emergency fund. Is your emergency fund. The second one is your retirement fund. And then your third one is your midterm or dream fund. All right? Now, why is that? Because you don't want to be paid for a flat tire with your kids' education. And you don't want to be paid for your kids' education with your retirement. Or you'll be living with your educated kids. All right? So now let's talk about each fund. All right? The emergency fund. Now when you open up an emergency fund, you should have at least 3 goals. 3 what? Goals. You should have 3 goals. Not 3 minimums, 3 goals. Right? The first goal that you should have when opening up a mutual fund, and Marco, you do everything in your power to generate at least $1,000 in that account. Now the minimum to invest in any mutual fund is how much? $25, right? So their goal is, all right, I got extra $25, I gotta focus on developing at least $1,000 in this account. Right? The reason why athletes love coaches because they set goals for the athletes. The reason why advisors do so well with clients because they set goals for their clients. So you also should set goals for your clients. Right? The first goal is now you're going to generate $1,000 in that account. Once that's accomplished, the next goal we should have is at least 3 months of expenses. Now let me ask the crowd, why is it important to have 3 months of expenses set aside? It's leads. They're allowed, right? If you get fired, right? If you leave a job, right, or you get terminated from your job, at least you have a 3-month cushion that you're not pulling out credit cards, you're trying to refinance your house, right? That's why it's called an emergency fund, right? Keep at least 3 months of expenses in there, just in case you lose your job or you need your job, right? If you're a 90-day cushion. But once you've accomplished that, right, the next goal and the final goal is at least 6 months of expenses. Now let me ask you guys that one. Why 6 months of expenses? Disability, right? So if you get hurt on the job, right, it takes around 6 months for disability to kick in. So we need to make sure that you have at least 6 months set aside because I need to make sure you're financially bulletproof. Y'all got that?
Yes.
All right. Once you accomplish all 3 of these goals, this fund, this mutual fund is completely funded. You don't need to add any more money in it. Just let it ride and let it grow. Any questions on the emergency fund?
No.
All right, I'm gonna show you where we're gonna invest that money as well too. All right. Now this is why I need y'all to pay attention big time, because this is where it separates you from everyone else in life insurance. All right. Now the second most important fund out there is what we call the retirement fund. All right, retirement fund. It's called the what? Retirement fund. You gotta pay attention. All right, and now when you're opening up a retirement fund, there are two types of retirement funds that most people know about. You have something called a 401k. You guys heard of this before?
Yes.
All right. Now, this is how I explain what a 401k is. 401k is opened up by your employer, right? You can't go out there at a job and say, I'm going to open up my own 401k. Your employer, as a benefit to the company, gives you this option. That makes sense?
Yes.
All right. Now you have something called a Roth IRA, or you have something called an IRA, individual retirement account. What does IRA stand for? Individual retirement account. I love that. All right. Now when you're opening, we're just talking about IRAs. So I'm talking to an individual. All right. Now when we're talking about IRAs, there are two types of IRAs that are out there. The first type of IRA that's out there is called a traditional IRA. And the other one is called a Roth IRA. Have you heard of these before? Yes. Now, what's the difference? Well, what's that? How money you make. That's one of them. That's one of them for sure. There it is, right? Well, first of all, you can't touch this money in this account, the number 2 account, can't touch it to age 59 and a half. The IRS says, hey man, listen, you can save money all you want, you got all these benefits, but you gotta promise us that you're not gonna touch that to age 59 and a half. Now why a half? It's the IRS, they're paying the buck, right? 59 and a half. If you do touch it beforehand, Ray, 2 things are gonna happen. You're gonna get taxed on this money, and you don't get penalized on this money. Right? So that is why I tell my clients, all right, that this is the second most important fund for you. Because if an emergency happens, and you only have a retirement account set up, and you pull money out, you get taxed, you get penalized, and now you're pissed at me. Right? Which has happened before. I'm telling you guys this from experience. Make sure that a client has an emergency fund, because they will touch you. All right? I got it?
Yes.
Any questions on it? Guys, this is a question time. You good? Margo, you good? Sure. Now, right. So it's gonna be, we're gonna be maxed out. So you asked if there's any fees going. Yes, if it's in a mutual fund account. All right? If it's in a mutual fund account, you gotta pay this guy over here. This guy doesn't work for free. All right? And we also don't work for free. Right? So yes, but I'll explain that in a little bit. Now the difference between a traditional IRA and a Roth IRA, y'all want to get some history?
Yes.
Y'all want to get some history? Okay, so back in the early 90s, all right, in the early 90s, there was Social Security, there was pensions, and there was 401k plans, all right? The IRS came up and was like, man, listen, pensions are starting to go away. The companies aren't doing pensions anymore because people don't last more than 3 to 5 years at a job. So pensions are going. Social Security is looking like it's not gonna last that much longer either. So we gotta figure out a way to incentivize people to start saving their money long term. And so Senator Roth came up to the table and said, hey, listen, how about we put together a plan that they get taxed now on this money. But anything they get paid on a paycheck, that money's already been taxed. But then from there, they can invest that money, and that money grows completely tax-free forever. And that's why I came up with the Roth IRA. So the traditional IRA, when you reach age 59 and a half, anything that's in this money is going to get taxed. Anything you pull out, right? Not only that, but you have to start taking that money out before age 72, where the government takes half of that money. That's what you call required minimum distribution, RMDs, right? So you want to make sure the government's like, man, you haven't paid taxes on this money, or you're 72 years old, you're about to die, right? And in their eyes, they're like, hey, listen, no, you got to pay me some taxes, bro. and pay some taxes. You gotta start taking withdrawals before the age of 72 years old. A Roth IRA, everything that's in that is completely tax-free. So if you had $1 million here, and $1 million here, $1 million at a traditional IRA, when you retire, you have to pay taxes on whatever you take out. And then Roth IRA, anything you take out, tax-free. As soon as it's done, you want to be taxed or you want to have no taxes? You want to be taxed or you have no taxes? So that's what a Roth IRA is. Now, the max you can put into this account every single year is $7,500 per person. $7,500 per person. If they're older than 50 years old, then it jumps up to $8,500 per person. That's both for the Roth and the traditional. Any questions? Yeah.
So, can I just take some loose money in my house and put it into my Roth, or do we got to come for my job?
Give me an example.
So, like, can I just take some extra money I got laying around in my house and put it into my
In your house?
Right.
Oh, I mean, from your house.
Okay, yeah. Extra money just laying around. Like, let's say I got $8,000. I'm gonna put it into a Roth IRA.
100%. 100%. 100%. But I would always advise you, right, to do emergency fund. The emergency fund, and then whatever is left over, let's make sure to put that in the Roth. Right? I need to make sure that if emergency happens, that you're not upset at me because you get taxes on that line. All right? Any other questions? Question? 15 or older. Yeah, 15 or that's what you call a catastrophic contribution. Yeah. Any questions in the back?
That makes sense because you have a whole year to fill that up anyway, so you might as well put money in the emergency fund and you're gonna be taxed on that.
Yeah. You're gonna be taxed on it if you take money out. Yeah.
That makes sense.
And then the dream fund, this right here is for vacations, and this when you get your client thinking. You get your client thinking outside the box, right? If they have daughters, right? I think Jason did a fantastic job on this. If they have daughters, say, man, look, this right here is good for a wedding fund, right? It's gonna be a great wedding fund. You know, they're not getting married for quite some time, and what a beautiful gift it would be to give to your daughter, right? This also could be for a first home, right? This could also be for, first car, right? It's gonna be for a second home, right? Y'all ever think about having a house somewhere else, right? It's like a beach house or a mountain house or something like that. Get your client thinking outside the box, right? Get them dreaming. Because the natural society keeps us in a box, man. Go to work, make sure you don't get in trouble, come home, eat dinner, go to sleep, do the same thing next day, right? And by you coming in and shaking their world up and saying, hey, bro, let's dream a little bit together, it's very possible to make this happen. Give me some time, let's work on this. Now you separate yourself from everyone else, right? Y'all got it?
Yes, sir.
Now, 1, 2, 3. 1 and 2, they can touch whatever they want. They're not going to get penalized. They only got to pay taxes on the growth of that account, right? That's the only thing they have to pay taxes on. They're not going to get penalized or anything like that. Number 3 is the only one that they will get taxed and penalized if they touch that money, all right? Not only that, these are both attached to the bank account. So if they need money, hey, DeMarco, I need 10,000, I need 5,000, I need 500. Or you just go onto your portal, boom, 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 and immediately in 24 to 48 hours, back to their bank account. Right? Business days, not weekends. All right? Any questions on this? You good?
Yeah.
No questions? All right, so look, this is what I'm talking about. Now that you guys know what a mutual fund is, here's an actual mutual fund. All right? Here's an actual mutual fund, investments, boom. Here's an actual mutual fund. Now, some people in this business, they see this page and they give it to their client and they expect their client to understand what the heck they're looking at. This is a Super Bowl. Look, the best way to do it is if you go to your search and all you do is you need a ticker, the one that you want. Be on like Diamond Tech. Right? You do fun fact sheet. So look, this is an actual mutual fund right here. Go ahead. Over here. Right on it. So look, if I get, let's say I'm sitting down with Gabby, alright? Gabby's not in the business. Gabby says she wants some life insurance, some investments. I say, Gabby, here's a mutual fund I recommend for you. Here, so take a read of that. Take a look at that. She's never seen, nobody's ever approached her, nobody's ever talked to her about, this looks great, it looks very nice, very sophisticated, but is she gonna understand this? Now, but now that you guys know that elevator, right, the elevators, remember that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna come back and be like, okay, look, now that you know the elevators, you remember all those cables on the elevator, elevator number 3? Well, this one right here, DeMarco has 107 different cables. Those are 107 different companies that you're investing in this mutual fund. Now, the top 10 of those 107 are right here. You have some NVIDIA, you have some Amazon, you have some Alphabet, which is Google, right? You have some Microsoft, Apple, Meta, which is Facebook, right? You have all of these companies and 197 more of them, right? That if they all, the only way you can lose your money is if they go bankrupt on the same day at the same hour. And Ray, not only that, but look, you remember those guys, the guy that's managing your money, the elevator guy, right? This guy has 26 years of experience with the firm. This other guy has 60 years of experience with the firm. So do you think they've seen some things? Do you think they've been in a couple fights, ups and downs in the market? Do you think they've seen a couple wars, right? That's what I want. I want to put my money with the old dog, right? The dog that has like the scars on his face, and those are the ones I want to put my money with. They see some things, right? And you can see here that this right here, cumulative returns, right? You see that last year, 2025, this thing did 18.46% return. The year prior did 30%, did 44%, right? But naturally we go down to the negative, right? At any time, now there is a negative market. There's a negative market. Anytime you see any negative, that is not a time for you to panic. But Jacob, that is never a time for you to panic. That's a time where we rejoice, right? And the reason why is because history tells us that anytime there's a negative market, the next year, the market apologizes for it, right? So anytime there's a dip in the market, that's a time where everything's on discount. Imagine you go to Gucci, right? And Gucci walk in and they say, hey, listen, we have a 70% sale in there. Are you just gonna walk right out and be offended? No, you're probably gonna stand there all day and just be buying things, right? And the more you buy, the more the discount is going down. You buy 2 offers, hey, we're gonna give you 80%, 90% discount. That's what happens in these markets right here. Anytime there's a dip in the market, most people flee. You gotta find money to put in. I got it? Any questions on this? I know there has to be a question. 2022. It was an election. That was an election, right? Anytime there's an election, there's money that goes down. People want to see what the heck is going to go on. So they pull their money out, that's what actually drives the market down. Right? Y'all got it? Most people flee. Most people flee. That's the time when you got to put your money in. Right? Market's a discount. Yep. Anytime you see a negative in the market, that is the time in the market where you gotta sell off your Jordans, sell off your whatever the heck you gotta do, find money and put money back in. You're always statistically gonna win. Alright? Got it? Alright, so look, this is how you do a hypothetical. Got it? Go ahead, you good?
So I would do it. So I would scared by.
Show them this. Show them this. Look, why are you so scared? There's been 40%, and now you have 44, 30, 18, right? What else? We can do a little bit less aggressive, obviously, but this is a growth account. But we can do a little more less aggressive for you, right? But I mean, you gotta address the fear with facts. The only reason why they have fear is because they don't have all the facts. You know, once they have all the facts, then they understand. Okay, yeah, this makes sense. This makes sense. And now you're gonna hear people say, "Man, my uncle, my sister, brother, cousin Tracy, right? She lost all her money in the market." No, does she still have the money still in the market? No, she pulled her money out. So she sold. When the market is down, that's not the time for you to sell. It's the time for you to keep trying. Y'all making sense here? I'm seeing a lot of blank faces.
No, it makes sense.
Okay. All right. All right, look. So look, this is an actual, now this is where you make your money. All right? This is not a time where you do this in front of the client. This is when you gather information. The client's like, man, listen, I got an extra 10,000. I got an extra, 3,000. I just left my job. I have 150,000 open that I need to move it. Well, this is how you do it, right? This is how you do it. Let me show you guys real quick. Have y'all ever seen Morningstar before?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen Morningstar before? This is still shine. Morningstar. So Morningstar, anybody can say numbers, right? Anybody can say, that they recommend you putting money here. But Morningstar brings out the facts, right? So this is what you do. You go here, you go to products, and this is when your securities license, right? So you sell it, you can start doing this right now. You go right here, you go to U.S. investments. We're not in Canada, right? You go down here, and you go where it says Morningstar, right? Right? Sells tools. It sells tools. All right? Morningstar hypothetical illustrator. Y'all see that? Yes? Yes? All right, you hit this. Now, let's put a number together. Let's say a client, right, give me a number. How much does the client have in their account? How much does the client want to invest? Give me a number. 50,000? All right. And 50,000 into an emergency fund, into a retirement fund, or what? Or a retirement fund. Okay, so they have an old job, they have 50,000, an old job, they want to roll it into an IRA with them for 50,000. All right. How much do they want to put into that mutual fund on a monthly basis? 500. Okay. Okay. So y'all got it? So
Yeah.
50,000. Okay, gotcha. And how old is this client? 45. All right. So they're 45 years old. How much longer do they have to their retirement? Yes. All right. So look, you see on the very top of the page where it says New Scenario. All right, we're gonna click New Scenario. It's the brokerage, right? Boom. All right. The client is 45 years old. Kind of aggressive, right? So let's go ahead and do Franklin Dynatech. All right, that's a fund that I like. If you guys are like, what new funds do I have to use? Whatever mutual funds you guys are using is the mutual funds that you should be advising your clients to use. All right? Now, what does that tell you? If you don't have a mutual fund, you shouldn't be advising your clients on what to put their money into. You don't have it yourself, right? That's the only way that I got around because I wasn't security licensed yet. I was like, hey man, listen, this is where I'm investing my money, and this is why I recommend you do it as well too. And here's the reason why. Right? So look, FKENX, that is Dynatech. All right, we click Dynatech. We're gonna go right down to the bottom. It's added already. Next thing is the next tab. What's the next tab say? Buy. How much are we buying? How much are they saying he's gonna transfer over? 50,000. 50,000. So you put 50,000 here. All right. How long until their retirement? 20 years. So you go custom, and if we're in 2026, 20 years ago is when? You guys are smart, bro. You guys are smart. Right? 2006. 2006. Alright? So from 2006 to 2006, if they would have put $50,000 in this account, and every month we're doing how much?
500.
So the next one is advanced 5, right? We're gonna do 500 every single month. So we click here, 500. I hope you guys are paying attention to this one.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm sick and tired of people like, man, how we not make money? How we not make money? Well, because you're only doing life insurance. There's investments that are out there that we don't know how to do, but you're learning how to do it today.
What would Chief
Right?
be here, bro? He doesn't.
I mute that. Alright. Alright, fees. Oh, here's answer your fees. So when it comes to a retail account, mutual fund account, if it's less, I want y'all to write this down. If it's less than 50,000, it's a 5% fee. If it's less than 50,000, it's a 5% fee. Alright? If it's, and then after 50,000, it goes up, it goes down in increments, right? So there's mutual funds that go down to 4.5, 3%, you know, so it naturally does that on the application, right? But 5%, rest assured. And that's every time they put new money in. It's not an annual fee, it's every time they put money in. So for every $100 they put in, $5 is what's taken out for fees, right? So fees is already there, standard, it's already there. Now we're gonna make it nice. We're gonna say this is, what's retirement account. Retirement account. What's the client's name? Ray. Ray Smith. Prepared by Ray Curtis. Right? See how I did that? And then I'm gonna go here to where on the very top you see where it says generate client report. You're gonna click that. And so here, look, Ray.
Generate
good,
client
dog.
report.
That'll take all day for you to do. You can see here, right? The client, right? Total for 20 years, invested his own money, right? And he invested $173,000 of his own money, right? If he kept it in the bank at 0%, 20 years from now, he would have $173,000 in that account, right? Because he invested $50,000 and every single month he put in $500. So at that total period, he invested out of his own account $173,000. So because he went with Ray, and Ray educated him and said, you need to put your money in a mutual fund. Here's the mutual fund that I recommended, right? Instead of having $173,000, now he has $1.3 billion in that account. Do we do difference in people's lives here? You just made a dude a millionaire, bro. Just by sharing it, and this account here has been averaging at 13.74%. Right? Now, I like to develop millionaires, right? That's only 50,000. An average of every 401k account right now is around $334,000. In every 401k account right now, an average, before they reach retirement. No, that's adding $500 a month. So you can see here, that they did 50,000 to start, and that's 500 a month, that's 6,000 a year. So the first year they total 56,000, that's 6,000 every year after that. It's in the middle, right? Now, of this, he paid us $5,900 in fees. So if you have a problem with, if a client has a problem with fees, you just tell them, Nalia, you give me $173,000, just pay me $5,900 in fees, and based on this, you're gonna have $1.3 billion. Do you think they have a really big concern with that $5,900? No, absolutely not. Right? Are there other people that can do this? Yes, right? But people aren't sitting down with people with just $50,000. Raymond James, Merrill Lynch, Morgan Stanley, Edward Jones, you have to at least have $500,000 just for them to get a commission. They're not sitting down with you if you have $450,000. I would travel to St. Pete, I would travel to Sarasota, I'll probably even travel to the West Coast or even the East Coast right? Or somebody have 450,000 ready to go. Now they're sleeping. Right? You see that? So you see here, guys, this is all great stuff, right? But here are the mutual funds that they're investing into. NVIDIA, y'all know what NVIDIA is?
Yeah.
Y'all know AI?
Yeah.
AI, they're the godfather of AI. They do everything AI. Anything that does AI is through NVIDIA, right? So do you think they're going to slow down anytime soon?
Yeah.
As scary as AI is, I want to take advantage of it too, right? I want to put my money in that as well. Amazon, y'all know what Amazon is?
Yeah.
You think they're slowing down anytime soon?
No.
No, they're starting to do drone packages, right? They're starting to do transportation now, right? You think that's Google? Y'all know Google? Alphabet is Google. Y'all know what Google is? You think anybody has less Gmails accounts? I know people have 3 or 4 Gmails, right? Microsoft, Apple, right? Some people in this room have Apple Meta glasses, right? They're not slowing down, so I want to take advantage. I want my clients to take advantage of that growth as well too, right? And so look, guys, this right here is how simple as our business is, man. You just gotta educate. You gotta educate, excite, and back it up with facts. And when you do that, it doesn't matter if you show up in a t-shirt, jeans, it doesn't matter how you look to them, they're always gonna look at you as somebody of value. Right? Look, all of this, and you can read, the client can read this all they want, it's all something. But Ray, you did all this, bro? Damn, dog, you did all this? You created all of that. You must have been up all night. But look at all this. Look at those are the top 10 companies they invested into, but here's all the other companies that they're investing into. All the other companies they're investing into. Hold on, stay up. We're good. Y'all know Netflix? Right?
Yes.
Y'all know, let me see. I'm talking to you about. Right? But 43 pages of information, and all you need is 3 to go millionaire in the business. Right? I don't know, guys. This right here gets me fired up every single time I do it. Right? Because even though, let's say they didn't have 50,000. Let's say they're just like, man, I just want to start with $25 a month. Right? I just have $25. I'm strapped right now. I'll stop eating out, and I'll have that $25 a month for you. But you go back here, and you go, all right, let's start off with $25. Right? And every single month, let's just do $25 a month. Right? And let's do that for the next 20 years. Now, y'all saw 1.3 million, so we're not going to see 1.3 million, right? But you can see if a client has only $25 to their name on a monthly basis, and they just stay persistent with this account, nothing crazy, right? 20 years, they're going to have $35,000 saved up. 35, that's nothing crazy, but if somebody has $25 to their name, and you can show them that $25 can lead to $35,000 in 20 years, they're going to find more money as time goes on.
Exactly.
They're going to find more money as time goes on. People pay up for Netflix. So when they see growth, they're going to start cutting back on expenses to add to their money, to add to their wealth. Right? They're going to start, hey, I need to pay off this so I can have more money here. They pay off this so I can have more money here. I don't need that anymore. I can have more money here. I've had clients that start off with $25, and now they're saving around $4,000 a month. Right? And it's all because we showed them value. Right? We educated them. And no matter what, when something comes up, if they sell their house, or they get an inheritance, or their parents, they get a settlement, or they know somebody who's gone through that, who do you think they're going to recommend? Me. Right? Who do you think they're going to recommend in this room? See what? And
Me.
This is last, guys. This is last. I think we feel like we should need to know everything before we present. You know? That's not the case, man. You just got to swing the bat. You just got to swing the bat, and I promise you, good things are going to happen, right? Because you're going to get better every time. You don't stay bad swinging bats, right? You start learning. Maybe I should use this technique. Maybe I should use this one. Maybe I should talk to this. But you have to get up to the plate and swing, right? And when you get good at this, you sell up. Right? I'm telling you, you get good at this. So Jacob, you're not just helping out one client. You're helping out one client's market. Because again, if they come upon somebody in their church say, hey, I just got a settlement, man, somebody hit me and I got an extra $100,000, $200,000, $1 million, right? If they're a deacon in their church, who do you think they're always going to want to help that client, right? They're always going to help that person in their church. They're going to refer you all day long to that person. My top clients wasn't me prospecting them out and about. My top clients have always been from this person, this person, this person I recommended you, right? So you guys just got to get out there and get a whole bunch of people familiar with what you're capable of doing. Try this. Life insurance is phenomenal. Recruiting is phenomenal, right? But at the end of the day, I want to get paid on everything. And I want to be of value in any aspect I can be of value, right? Any questions, comments, concerns? I learned something, right? Y'all still sleeping? Or you good? I don't know, man. I don't know. Usually these trains, man, I usually get like people like flipping desks.
That's my speech.
Any other questions on Zoom? Anything out there? Did I see anything on Zoom? No? Good? All right.
You have to, in like those other companies, you have to have $450,000 around with them.
Yeah, so companies out there, Raymond James, Merrill Lynch, Morgan Stanley, Edward Jones, you gotta have money for them to sit down with you.
So that's not the exact amount, it's just basically have money.
You can tell you, yeah, they cater to the 1% of the population. Which I get it, man. I get it. These people have money. It's an easy approach to them, right? But I want to cater to them. I don't want to cater to them. I want to cater to everybody. I don't care if you have $25 to your name or if you have $250 million to your name, right? A mutual fund is a mutual fund. A strategy is a strategy, right? And I want to make sure that if I help out with one fund, I help out with all their funds as well too. That's it. Everybody got a question?
So you have to find members for Merrill Lynch, so you don't really get paid off any gains with you.
See? I don't. They don't. Right? All right, guys, that's my fortune. I know Jason has something. Jason, come up to the front, Jason.